Hi, my name's Jonathan Hicks. I'm back at the Dice Cup, and this evening I'm joined by
A-Bomb,
Dave,
Steve,
and we just finished playing Wavelength, which is a party game of sorts where you have this interesting sort of dial thing that sticks out of the box, and each round you have a scale. So in this case, the scale is bad movie at one end through to good movie at the other end. You can see there's a whole deck of these cards with different sorts of scales on. So you could also have boring to exciting. You could have temporary to permanent, so lots and lots of different kinds of scales. But we've got bad movie to good movie. And one person, so I'm going to sort of show you what's happening here, but A-Bomb's actually going to give us the clue. He's going to try and come up with a movie that is on this scale, but tries to get to this particular location. Now, at the start, before the round is, this thing slides around, so you don't know where it's going to be. There's a nice little hidey thing here. So you spin that, and then you reveal it, and like, oh, okay, so it's here. And you have to work with what you're given. You can't change it once you've seen it. So he then has to think of a movie that will be, like, not the best movie ever, because that would be like at this end, but somewhere in the appropriate range. And he's trying to go for the most points possible, which is going to be the 4, obviously. So he needs a movie, like, that will go kind of just there. That's what he's aiming for. So anyway, he comes up with something, and he says,
it's Attack of the Clones.
okay, so then that's closed, and whoever is guessing, which typically will be the people on his team, they then get to see this. So they know what the scale is, and they know he said Attack of the Clones. This is Star Wars? Attack of the Clones, just to be clear. And then the team have got to twiddle the red thing and point it to how good a movie they think Star Wars Attack of the Clones is. So they all discuss it.
Star Wars. It's not the
But
best
it's a
one.
bad Star Wars.
It's not the worst Star Wars one.
It's the second worst Star Wars one, in my opinion.
Oh, well, The Last Jedi was pretty bad. Oh, I don't know. I think, given A-Bomb, I think it's above halfway.
You think?
I think he's done a Star Wars
It's still
movie.
Star
He
Wars
hasn't done a
now.
romance one. Oh, I don't
So
know.
just,
Maybe that.
I think it's just a bit over halfway. I would probably go about there.
I will go with Steve. I think it's still gone Star Wars.
So while they keep deliberating, they set it to here, and that's like one team. And then the other team, because they're kind of waiting at this point, have to essentially decide how, like, which side of the best point they were. So if they think actually Star Wars Attack of the Clones is a better film than that, in A-Bomb's opinion, then you stick the little pencil thing on this side to show that the real thing is kind of further, that they're not as far as they should be in this direction. But if you think, oh my goodness, it's an awful film, then you'd put the pencil on the other side to make it clear that it's that. Anyway, you then reveal it, so this gets flipped over, and wherever the dial landed, they get that many points. So they did not get any points here at all, but if the other team had kind of guessed that they were the appropriate side of the dial, then they're going to get 1 point. So you get 1 point for guessing the right side when it's not your team's go, but if it's your team's go, ultimately you're trying to get in the 4 to try and get 4 points, but you'll get fewer points if you're close. You just play over a few rounds. I think there's this little point tracker thing at the side here, and essentially it's first to 10 points is the winner. What do we think?
It's okay. It depends obviously on the people you're with. You probably want to have a few people on both sides to have a bit of a discussion. I do find the wheel a little bit flimsy in terms of back and forth. Also, when you close it, it closes quite strongly, so you sort of have to push it a little bit. So it's a bit of a pain for that.
Okay. Dave?
It's good fun. It's. I think I'd enjoy playing it with my family quite a lot. You got to be careful if you've got it covered, that you open it the whole way, because when I did it, I opened it about halfway because I already knew it was there, which was telling people it wasn't going to be on this side of the scale. So, but yeah, it's all right.
Steve?
I agree with Dave. I think I prefer to play it with non-gamers or a collection of maybe games and non-gamers, or a mixed collection. I think gamers, with the first 2 goes we had, they AP'd it, overanalyzed, trying to think of the perfect clue to get you there. I also think the guidelines for giving the clues aren't. They say you're not allowed to say a clue with 2 different parts, so you're not allowed to say the word slightly and so on. And I agree with some of the guidelines they give you, but not always. Sometimes you might want to say an annoyed badger or something like that, just to get that laugh, just to get people laughing at the clue you give. If you're only ever saying actual real things and you're not kind of giving it, a person who's seen every episode of Scrubs or whatever you might do to find someone between, annoying and not annoying or something, how annoying would that person be? Well, I'd want to give a bit of a vague, weird clue So I don't know. I'd like the clues to be slightly less stringent. But if you're playing this, I also think you should have at least 6. I also think there needs to be discussion. So if Mark gives a clue, Dave and I are on his team, and we're actually talking about, actually, no, is it this way, is it that way? Otherwise, he gives a clue, and then his one teammate goes, it's there, and then the opposition just goes, no, that's too high, and you just don't get that buzz.
Mark?
Yeah, it's neat. I guess it's something different in some sort of way. I guess, like I said, the time waiting for the clue giver will be the biggest effect of how good it goes. If it's taking them 1 or 2 minutes for each clue, it's just too long for it. It needs to be flowing and nobody really trying to win. I think if you're trying to win, it's less fun. It's the other thing, question, because I don't know what the retail price is, but I suspect for what you're getting, the retail price isn't that cheap. We've got a big plastic thing in it, and that's going to be moulded. Maybe I'm wrong, but without knowing the price, I can't say.
Rating?
Based on this play, I don't know, 6.5.
With gamers 5, with non-gamers 7.5.
Yeah, same. Gamers 5, non-gamers 7.
Okay.
There are lots and lots of better party games. This is a 4.
Okay. I like it. I really like the idea of it. I very much agree with what Mark was saying. You need to play it with the right group, I think. And for some people, it's going to be fine. It needs to be fun. It's not something you've got to compete over. So I wouldn't really care about the points at all. But sometimes you can come up with some really interesting puzzles, if you like, in terms of if you give them a certain word or a certain idea or a certain person or something, they think, that's interesting. Like, where would that sit on the scale? I think it can be quite fun. So with the right group, I would give it a 7 out of 10 myself. All right, thanks for watching. That was Wavelength.